Hello and welcome to this presentation about comparison and logical operators. The word operators actually does three jobs in computing. Comparison and logical are two of them, and the other one is arithmetic operators, which are symbols we use for maths operations or arithmetic operations. The intended audience of this video is VCE Computing students, and my name is Mr. O'Mara and I'm a VCE Computing teacher. Our learning intention is that students can identify and use comparison and logical operators. Let's start off with comparison operators. Comparison operators are checking two things against each other, and it is producing a Boolean to say whether this relationship is true or not. So it's going to resolve to being either true or false. So equals equals means, are these two values the same? It's what we would normally use an equals symbol for if we're outside of computing, but in computing, 1 equals means this is true, 2 equals means can you check if this is true. Not equal to is exclamation point equals to check if they are not the same. Greater than, no surprises there. Less than, greater than or equal to. In this case, the symbol comes first and then the equal comes second. I have a bit of trouble remembering that. And same, less than or equal to. So those are our operators, and every answer is going to be true or false. So does 10 equal 11? Well, that's going to be false. Does 10 not equal 11? Well, it's going to be true. Is 10 greater than 11? Well, that's going to be false. Is 10 less than 11? Yes. Is 10 less than or equal to 11? Yes. And is 10 greater than or equal to 11? False. So if I actually put those expressions right there, just inside print in Python, and I run it, you'll see that it actually literally resolves to the meaning of true or false. So it's not just that we're keeping that in its head. That's when the computer reads, well, tell me this thing 10 equals 11, it just goes, oh, well, that represents false. That's not true. So those are conditional operators. The next one are logical operators. So and is a way of saying, is this test true and this test true? Or, so is this true or is this true? Now they can actually both be true. So something that will satisfy and will normally always satisfy or. So only one of them needs to be true, but all of the things can be true, and not inverts the Boolean value. Now that Boolean should be a capital B, but I'll fix that up. So let's have a look. So it is not 1 equals 1. Well, 1 equals 1 represents truth or true, and so not represents false. So number 1, false. So only one of these needs to be true. So 10 is less than 15. Even though the second one isn't true, one of them is true. So this is true. 10 is less than 15 and 15 is less than 10. So you'd need to satisfy both of those conditions. So that's false. So let's ignore the not for a second and say, is 20 greater than 10? Yes, it is. And is 5 less than there? So in fact, false, because both of them aren't true. So the not flips that over, so that becomes false. Hang on, let me go back to that. No, that's false because they're not true, so it flips over to true. 8 equals 8 is true, and it's an or statement, so I don't even need to keep reading. I know that that's true. Not, so 5 equals 5 is true, but we're turning it into false. So false is on one side, and 10 is greater than 2 is true. I actually genuinely don't know how that plays out. We'll know in a minute. Now, not. Well, that's a double negative, so that's going to turn back into true. So I can actually run this in code too. Now I did have to go through and I had to do a bit of bracketing and I had to change my keywords into lowercase. So it wasn't a simple matter of copying and pasting, but I was able to do it. Now the one that I didn't know about was number 6. So let's run it and see what it says. Number 6 is true. So, you know what? I actually couldn't tell you how that one's true. So there you go. That's something for you to work out if you're curious. So that's how conditional and mathematical operators work. Sorry, not no conditional and logical operators.